The dictionary defines an abortion as the termination of a pregnancy through the removal of a fetus or an embryo from the uterus before the end of its term. This is also the same definition for a miscarriage. However, an abortion has a larger connotation around its name, which makes it a more controversial topic today. There are two groups of opposing views on this topic. There is the pro-choice side, which is more rooted in fact and science, and there is the pro-life side, which is more rooted in religious beliefs and personal opinion. Pro-choice argues that women have the moral right to do what they want with their bodies. We, at the moment, do not have any sort of laws around reproductive surgeries, such as an oophorectomy, which is the removal of the ovaries, or the removal of a uterus. So why can we tell a woman what she can and cannot do with a clump of cells in her own body? Depending on where a woman is within her life, a baby could be worse off being born. 30% of low-income women have to have an abortion due to the lack of accessible contraceptives. If a baby is born into one of these low-income single-parent families, they could have a greater percentage of them being put on welfare. This can dig them into a deep hole of debt and put the mother in debt as well. If the mother is forced to give birth but does not want the child, she is more likely to put the kid into an orphanage. This can cause the child severe mental issues, such as distress and abandonment issues later on. Also, making abortion illegal puts a woman at risk of having to have an illegal abortion. When done professionally, an abortion has a 0.001% death rate, whereas the death rate of giving birth through natural birth is 13 times higher than that. There are around 68,000 women that die every year around the world from illegal abortions. An example of this is in Romania. They banned abortions in 1996 for 23 years. Over these 23 years, 9,000 women died, and several others were severely injured and were unable to give birth again due to illegal abortions. After abortion was re-legalized, the mother mortality rate dropped to 1/8 of what it originally was. This also sparked the orphan crisis, which was when 150,000 children were placed into orphanages. Most of these orphans now have mental issues such as reduced brain size, schizophrenia, and psychosis. While there are all of these fact-based arguments on the pro-choice side, the pro-life side supporters have their own opinions about what a woman should do with their lives. Many of their arguments stem from a fetus is a human being. They believe that a fetus has a life once the egg has been fertilized. This comes from the belief that the mother is then a murderer if she decides to have an abortion. Also, along this idea, a fetus is a human being and therefore has the right to life. They also believe that a fetus can have pain or can feel pain during an abortion, which is incorrect. They also believe that if a woman is willing to have sex, then she should be able to have the responsibility of taking care of this child that she has created. Many pro-life individuals are okay with an abortion if it's in the scenario that the woman has been raped, and believe that if it is truly a rape, then the woman's body has a way of getting rid of the pregnancy naturally. While these are only a few beliefs of pro-life side, many of the beliefs are rooted in religion or opinion and have no real fact-based conclusions. Because of these arguments are very easy to rebuttal. The pro-choice side believes that a fetus cannot survive on its own, which has been proven since they cannot support life before 22 weeks. Also, due to the Constitution, the fetus might have a right to life, but it does not have the right to use somebody else's body, and it does not have the right to put the mother's body into a state of threatening their life, which can be seen through ectopic pregnancies. Also, the argument that they feel pain is invalid due to the fact that neural pathways are created 7.5 weeks to 15 weeks during the pregnancy. However, just the existence of these neural pathways cannot show that the aborted child feels pain. The argument that women should accept what they have created shows that it's more of an argument based on what you think a woman should do and her behavior rather than actually caring about the life that is being aborted. Lastly, if you are arguing that for the life of the child, then the life of a child that is conceived in rape does not matter how they are conceived. What matters is that they are a life. If a child's life takes primacy over the desire of the mother, then it shouldn't matter how the fetus is conceived. And yes, the mother can have a miscarriage. However, this is not always seen because the body wants to have a child. So it doesn't matter how it's conceived. Before making your decision on this topic, think about how your opinion and your beliefs could affect the people around you. It could hurt the women and children in these situations. So please take away that you need to put more thought into this rather than just making a decision based on what you've been told. Thank you.